Hi, everyone. My name's Alicia. Thanks for joining me again this week and welcome back. This week we're celebrating Pentecost. In the readings today, we hear about how the disciples were filled with the Holy Spirit, which gave them the courage to go out and tell everyone about Jesus. This is a reading from the Acts of the Apostles. On the day of Pentecost, the believers were gathered together in one room. All of a sudden, they heard a sound like a strong wind that seemed to fill the whole house. Then they saw what looked like tongues of fire coming and resting on each one of them. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and immediately they started to speak in other languages. At that time there were visitors in Jerusalem who had come from all over the world. They were amazed because they heard the believers speaking in so many languages. They said, "How are they able to speak like this? Aren't all of these people from Galilee? Yet we can hear them telling in our own languages the great things God has done." The word of the Lord. Before Jesus went to heaven, he made his friends a promise. He promised that he would ask his Father to send the Holy Spirit, who would tell them all they needed to know about God. Jesus' friends waited. Every day they would gather together and talk about Jesus' promise. They knew they had to go out and spread Jesus' message to the world, but they were scared. They wondered when the Holy Spirit would come. One day, they were all gathered together, talking about Jesus and their mission. Suddenly, they heard a sound. It was the scary howling of a stormy night. The windows shook, the doors rattled. Everyone was frightened. Then came the flames, dancing flames, like the tops of giant candles, and they rested on top of the heads of the disciples. Then God's Holy Spirit entered them, and their hearts were filled with love for God and for one another. Suddenly they were strong and unafraid. They were ready to face danger and go out through the world, talking about Jesus and his message and his love. When they went out, people gathered around them. They realized that even though they all spoke different languages, the Holy Spirit allowed each person to understand what the disciples were saying. Isn't that amazing? The Holy Spirit was God's gift to the disciples. The same Holy Spirit is God's gift to you when you are baptized. The Holy Spirit can be a difficult idea to understand. We can't see it like we can see each other. The Holy Spirit is like the wind. We can't see the wind, but we can certainly feel it on a windy day. We can see leaves moving in the trees because of the wind, or a kite flying high in the sky. The wind can be very strong and powerful. Can you think of any other ways that you can see the wind? Can you think of any ways that the wind is helpful? Maybe you're thinking about a windmill. The wind pushes the windmill and it can create electricity for us. Or maybe sailing a boat. You need the wind to push the sails so the boat moves. Just like the wind, we can see the effects of the Holy Spirit. Can you think of how we might see the effects of the Holy Spirit in our world? The Holy Spirit can work through us when we are kind to our family or friends, when we show love to others, when we think about other people and help people who are in need. I hope you all have a great week this week. See you next time. Bye.